Hey, Joe, you guys finished the season with just a historically efficient offense, even with not a lot of time together for KD, Kyrie, James. With you guys at full strength, is there another level this team can get to on that end even?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Obviously, we played extremely well offensively over the entire course of the regular season, but I think when we have everybody together, shoot, we only had James, Kai, and Kev on the floor. I think in total it was like 8 games. So to have them for some of the biggest games of the season where I feel like guys sort of elevate their level, anyways. Come playoff time. I definitely think that we could elevate our game a little bit on that end too.
Malika Andrews with ESPN.
Hey, Joe. Can you just update us on how you're doing health-wise, what you've been able to do, and what more, if you're not doing everything, needs to happen before you can?
Yeah, I mean, I slowly have kind of started getting integrated back into stuff. It's been nice to have actually a full week of practice, really, where we're able to get up and down a little bit, and mine's been in a little bit of moderation, but gradually doing more stuff every day, and had a full practice today, which was good.
And you expect to be good to go starting on Saturday, or do you need maybe a little more time? And then what sensation are you feeling? I don't think we've talked to you since this has become a little bit of an issue for you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel fine, to be honest, and I'm ready to go come game one. Everybody else within the organization would echo the same. It's kind of an unusual sort of injury, and nothing in particular that really stood out to me. It wasn't even painful by any means. It was just one of those things where I had a level of weakness just in the hip and sort of glute area, and I'm back pretty close to 100% right now.
Thanks, Joe.
Jared Greenberg with Turner. Jared, you're on mute.
Sorry, rookie move. Joe, going back to your Cleveland days, you're obviously on teams that had high expectations, but to be this close now to what many are regarding as the championship favorite, how do you internalize that? How does that feel, just to know that if you guys are at your best, you're this close to winning a title?
I mean, to be honest, this is a point that I think every organization in the NBA is trying to get to in terms of expectations. You hope to get to championship level expectations as a team. But for us as a team, it's not anything that's really discussed. I think for us, it's just really, we're trying to be as in the moment and present as possible. And it's sort of like a, cliche thing to say, but it's true. I mean, can't look too far ahead. We have to really focus on getting better every day, especially here as of late. This has been great for us just in terms of having quality practice time. It seems like it's one of these things over the course of the season where the amount of games, the amount of, injuries or COVID protocols, whatever we were dealing with, we didn't have guys together a lot for full practices. So, we're trying to take advantage of these days right now and be as best prepared going into this Boston series without really trying to think too far ahead or further down the road in terms of, championship expectations or anything like that.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
Joe, I've got a couple for you. First of all, I'd just like to ask the significance to you of winning the 3-point percentage championship again. And then second, when you get a chance, can you look back 2 years ago to the 76ers playoff series, and what was it exactly that they did to try and take you away from the offense that seemed to make such a big impact back then?
Yeah, the first part, I don't think about it a ton. Obviously, it's just a byproduct of sort of the work that has been put in. And I pride myself on being an elite shooter in this league. So, those are the marks that I'm trying to reach. And then the second part, the Philly series, they did an excellent job just defensively, in terms of taking a lot of our offensive options away, whether it was D'Angelo at the time and myself, Karras, we had it was a competitive series, but definitely a difficult series, especially for our first kind of go at it together. But that's just the nature of the playoffs. The intensity level rises, the game planning is up another notch, and the attention to detail, taking away shooters, that sort of thing is kind of ramped up an extra notch as well.
Alex Schiffer with The Athletic.
Hey, Joe, just to clarify on your injury, was it something that you woke up one morning and just felt, or do you chalk it up to the wear and tear of the season, or something you did in the game? Just how do you think you kind of had that happen to you?
We're not really sure. I thought after our Denver game, I just had a bruise, sort of like on my hip area, and monitored it. And then I think just because we have so many sort of measurables, performance related, just like hip adduction, abduction, those sorts of things, they were kind of able to determine that just the strength level was a little bit unusual, and they took a look at it and saw that it was a slight strain.
Brian Lewis with The New York Post.
Hey, Joe. These are, I guess, two questions, a little bit bigger picture, but I'm curious, you were here through some of the leaner years. I mean, in your mind, what is the key, or what are some of the keys that got this team from point A to point B, where so many other rebuilds have failed? And apropos of that, I mean, when you hear all the outside noise about you guys being kind of like the big bad villains now of the NBA, or you trying to buy a title, whatever, I mean, considering you went through 21 win year and so forth, I mean, how do you process all that noise? Is it amusing to you? Is it ironic? Is it funny? Do you tune it out? How do you process that?
Yeah, I mean, all of it is definitely interesting. I mean, if you look over the span of the last 5 years, like you said, just, we went from being a team that was really an afterthought amongst everybody in the NBA to now, this favorite, the villain, whatever you want to say. But obviously, the road in terms of getting there is, it's not an easy thing to get to this point. It's not an easy thing to get to, your organization to a level where it's attractive for free agents to want to come. Obviously we have the fact that, being in a big market is certainly attractive. Playing in a place like Brooklyn, certainly attractive. But at the end of the day, guys want to come where they see the best fit in terms of culture, quality of players. And, I think a lot of that is testament to, Shawn and, what he was able to instill early on with Kenny and the rest of the staff, in terms of solidifying sort of a foundation where, the personality and the character of the guys and the people within the organization were, the forefront of the evaluation of why you brought people in, and, getting people to mesh together, creating it in this environment that people wanted to come in and work, where it was positive, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of great energy. And I think you saw that over the years, where this was just a fun place to play. And, it made it an attractive destination for guys like Kevin and Kai, and then so on and so forth, to really want to come and play here. And then obviously, now that we're championship caliber, obviously a lot of people want to come and play and be a part of a team like that.
Last question, Christian Winfield with The Daily News.
Hey, what's going on, Joe? Working on kind of an offbeat story here, and you're one of the longest tenured Nets, maybe the longest tenured Net on the roster right now. So can you kind of walk me through when, or if there was ever a transition to where Brooklyn kind of became the smoothie capital of the NBA? It seems like every player has a smoothie. Like, was that always the case, or is that something that kind of worked itself along over the seasons?
Yeah, since I've been here, we've always had unbelievable sort of kitchen staff. Our chefs that we have, Marlon, Mo, Benny, Armando, these guys are great. And they, provide a lot of us with post-game or post-practice smoothies, and even pre-game smoothies as well. So it's just, since I've been here, it's sort of been the norm. And, we just happen to get a lot of pub for it here lately because, with James.